satisfied with. So now I'm very interested in the other things that might, like I have a couple of people who've gone all the way through right sleep and have inflammatory bowel disease, and that stuff is good, but their eczema is still bad. And now I'm still trying to figure out what are the next steps after this, you know, that they haven't tried, and this would be really cool for them.
Yeah, definitely. We do have a push, like a focus on gastrointestinal health as well. So I have a part of my team visits and promotes our products focusing on GI professionals, right? So we have diverticulitis use, obviously irritable bowel syndrome. We have great results with like 3 days, like, you know, very, very tangible results. So because they act readily on the lumen, on the gut area, because the lumen is so inflamed. There's so much cytokine there that anything that hits here is not being absorbed. Your metabolism is compromised. Your bowel movement is compromised, and whatever hits here, you know, it's questionable if it's being absorbed or not, right? So when you modulate, you improving, including when you modulate the immune system, the lumen area improves the absorption, and you reduce the insulin resistance because of this. So it's very interesting.
Okay, take me through one more time. It's a beta glucan
from Saccharomyces cerevisiae.
Okay, so that sounds like
a yeast, right?
Okay, so it's a yeast product,
right?
That's made by that species of yeast,
right?
And it makes a beta glucan.
That's correct. Beta glucan. Yeah, go ahead.
And then what breaks the beta? You said something breaks the beta glucan.
Macrophages. They are readily recognized by the innate immune system.
And then it makes a polysaccharide.
Right.
And that polysaccharide is taken in by the macrophage.
It is taken in by the macrophages. Yes. And
what's the setting on the bacteria in the gut? Because if it's a yeast, do the bacteria use this? Is there any effect on the bacteria? Has that ever been studied?
That's a very good question. I cannot recollect the reading the influence of the yeast presence on the bacteria population. I know that beta glucans are present, not 1316, right? Because when you have the glycose, you have 6 carbons, right? So the beta glucan that I have, it is the carbons 1 and 3, and then you have ramifications on the carbon 6. It's 1316. Oat has also beta glucans, but it's not 1316. It's 1315 or 1314. It's a completely different, chemically speaking, right, molecule. The primary structure, the secondary, and obviously the tertiary structure is completely different. I mean, the chemistry is different, but it is beta glucan because it is composed of polar saccharides, right?
Okay.
And it is recognized as it reduces the dyslipidemia of the patient because it functions as a gel-like, as a net-like in the lumen. And now also is known that some of the bacteria gets this the oat, the fiber of the oat, and use it to ferment and use as a prebiotic. So the oat, I think it's fairly well established as a prebiotic, and many people think because we also have a beta glucan, it is a prebiotic that as a food for the bacteria, right? But it's not really. It acts as, because at the end of the day, I do have some particle matter, right, for cell matter for my yeast, right? I mean, I don't have a 100% purity on my beta glucan, so you have particles of cells there. But this is very different from the oat. So the oat, to your point, it works feeding the gut because it helps the gut to ferment.
And you're talking about like oatmeal, like
Oatmeal.
eating oatmeal.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Correct.
Okay, just so I'm clear.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, you're somebody who would really like this Slominski material that I just stepped into by accident. This is a guy who's been studying a different enzyme because you understand three-dimensional drug, chemical, receptor stuff more than most. This guy Slominski has just done some amazing stuff in the last 15 years about D